The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Summary: The Maze Runner is a dystopian novel by James Dashner, published in 2009, that follows Thomas, a teenage boy who wakes up in a mysterious place called the Glade with no memory of his previous life. Surrounded by a gigantic, ever-changing maze and populated by other boys with no memories, the Glade is a survival-driven society with its own rules. As Thomas uncovers the secrets of the Glade and the maze, he learns that their situation is part of a larger, dangerous experiment. Themes of courage, survival, and the quest for freedom dominate the story. Plot summary. 1. Thomas arrives in the Glade. The story begins with Thomas waking up in a dark, elevator-like box with no memories of his life beyond his name. The box opens, and he finds himself in the Glade, a large, enclosed area inhabited by a group of teenage boys who have also lost their memories. The boys, known as Gladers, have established a functioning society with specific roles, such as builders, cooks, and runners, who venture into the maze surrounding the Glade every day to try to find an escape. Thomas is disoriented and frightened, but he feels an unexplainable familiarity with the Glade and a strong urge to become a runner, a role that involves navigating the dangerous maze, which changes every night and is populated by terrifying creatures known as grievers. 2. The Maze and the Grievers. The maze is a labyrinth that surrounds the Glade, with walls that shift every evening, making it nearly impossible to map out. The grievers, large, mechanical, and deadly creatures that roam the maze at night, kill anyone who remains in the maze after dark. The Gladers live by strict rules to protect themselves, and no one has ever successfully mapped or escaped the maze. Despite the dangers, Thomas is determined to become a runner, feeling an intense drive to solve the mystery of the maze. His courage and curiosity draw attention, especially from Albie, the leader of the Gladers, and Newt, his second in command. Thomas's arrival also causes tension with Gally, a Glader who distrusts him from the start. 3. Arrival of Teresa and changes in the Glade. The day after Thomas's arrival, the box brings up a new Glader, a girl named Teresa, the first girl ever sent to the Glade. Teresa is in a coma, but she soon wakes up and delivers a shocking message: everything is going to change. Teresa claims she and Thomas are connected, though Thomas cannot remember how. She also reveals that they can communicate telepathically, adding another layer of mystery to their past. Following Teresa's arrival, the Glade's routines are disrupted, and the maze's patterns seem to change, becoming more dangerous. The Grievers begin to attack at random times, causing chaos and fear among the Gladers. 4. Thomas becomes a runner and discovers the Griever hole. After proving his bravery by saving Albie and Minnow, the lead runner, from a Griever attack, Thomas earns a place as a runner. He and Minnow discover a section in the maze, known as the Griever hole, which they believe may be an exit. Thomas starts experiencing flashes of memory, hinting that he may have been involved with the organization that created the maze, known as Wicked, World and Catastrophe, Kill Zone Experiment Department. Thomas, determined to help the Gladers escape, suggests that the maze's shifting patterns may contain a code. Working together, they realize that the maze's walls form words over time, creating a code that may unlock an exit. 5. Escape from the maze. With the maze's code partially deciphered, Thomas intentionally gets stung by a Griever, which triggers his memory. He learns that Wicked designed the maze as part of an experiment to test the intelligence, endurance, and survival instincts of young people in a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by solar flares and a deadly disease called the Flare. The Gladers are part of this experiment to find a cure or solution for humanity's survival. Armed with this information, Thomas leads the Gladers to the Griever hole, where they input the code. After a deadly battle with the Grievers, they escape the maze and enter a control room, confronting the scientists who have been observing them. A woman named Ava Page explains that Wicked orchestrated everything and that the experiment was only the beginning. 6. The revelation and cliffhanger ending. Just as they begin to process the truth, a group of rebels storms the facility, rescuing Thomas and the surviving Gladers. The rebels tell them that Wicked is not as benevolent as it claims and that they will be taken to safety. However, the story ends on a cliffhanger, with a note from Ava Page indicating that the Gladers are still part of Wicked's experiment, setting the stage for further challenges in the sequels. Key themes. 1. Survival and cooperation. The Gladers' survival depends on teamwork, order, and courage. The boys establish a society based on collaboration and assign roles to each person, reflecting the importance of community in the face of adversity. 2. Identity and memory. The loss of memory among the Gladers raises questions about identity and the impact of past experiences. Thomas's flashes of memory hint at a larger conspiracy and add tension as he uncovers his past connections to Wicked. 3. The ethics of experimentation. Wicked's treatment of the Gladers as test subjects raises ethical questions about sacrifice, humanity, and the greater good. The experiment's impact on the characters highlights the moral complexities of using human lives as part of scientific research. 4. Courage and leadership. Thomas's bravery, determination, and strategic thinking position him as a natural leader. His willingness to take risks, such as facing the Grievers and risking his life to help others, underscores the courage required to confront the unknown and protect those he cares about. Conclusion. The Maze Runner by James Dashner is an action-packed, suspenseful exploration of survival, courage, and identity in a dystopian world. Thomas's journey from confused newcomer to determined leader showcases his resilience and strength as he unravels the mystery of the maze. The novel's intense pace, thought-provoking themes, and unexpected twists make The Maze Runner an engaging story of friendship, sacrifice, and the struggle to find freedom in a controlled, dangerous environment.